Hi there, this is Olivia, and today we're going to be unpacking my first aid kit. So this is the case I got. I got it at Sam's Club. It's a pretty big one, but it came with a lot of stuff. I like it because this part here is glow in the dark, which is awesome if it's in like the back of your car. And the purpose of this is obviously just to hold all the items. So when we open the kit, the first thing we're going to be looking at here is my Band-Aids, which I just left what the kit came with. I didn't really pull any of them out. It came with a couple different sizes. So it came with these guys here, which are 3" by 3/4 of an inch. Came with plenty of those. It came with these guys here, which are 1" by 3". Came with these little butterfly closures. And then the 1 and 1.5 by 3/8 inch. And Band-Aids are really awesome for like little cuts and little scrapes, things that are easily taken care of. Nothing that's going to be gushing blood or bleeding everywhere. Next up, we have adhesive tape. This is what the kit came with. This is really awesome for just like securing a splint, or sometimes if you need to secure a Band-Aid, or a bandage, I mean. So it's handy to have around. Next up is the gauze 4x4 dressings. Here on this other side. The list says 10. The kit originally came with these 4 here, and then I went and got 6 more. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next up, we have roller gauze. The kit came with like I think 2". I want to say this is 3" roller gauze here. The 4x4 dressings are for like bigger things that are like spurting blood, to just help stop the bleeding. They're great for pressure dressings. And then this is what's going to hold those pressure dressings on pretty effectively. Next up, we have an Ace bandage here. I just got this at Walmart. This is going to be good for like giving extra support to an injury. Until you can get like proper medical attention to the injury to tell if it's broken or sprained. Next up is antiseptic wipes here. So it came with these alcohol prep pads, and then it also came with these BZK antiseptic towelettes. And it came with lots of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of the alcohol pads. So it came with lots of those dudes. They're good for like cleaning an area, keeping it from getting infected, or helping to prevent it from getting infected, as well as like getting the little debris out, if you have debris in there. Next up is going to be the 2 instant ice packs. My kit came with this one here, and I just got this one separate. Ice is really important to help prevent like secondary injuries. With these dudes, they have the instructions on the back, and you just hold them on whatever's injured. Yeah. Next up, we have the bandage scissors. So it came with these guys. They do have like the blunt part of the bandage scissor to like lift up away from the skin. And then I also went ahead, I put in my own Swiss Army knife. And I like my Swiss Army knife here just because it does have some other tools as well. Let's see here, like a screwdriver. It's got little tweezers in itself. I think it has a serrated blade. Oh, that's a leather punch. Serrated blade. So it's just a little bit more versatile than these, but I kept both in the kit just to have them. And then it came with these little tweezers here. I would probably be more likely to use these guys than the ones that are in my Swiss Army knife, just because these are a little bit bigger, they're a little bit easier to grasp. These are good for like removing splinters or other little pieces of things that you can see but might not be able to wipe out right away. You don't want to use these for a bee sting though. You want to try to push the bee sting out, which is an important distinction. Let's see, next up is the Ziploc bags. I think I have 2 sizes here. Yeah, so I have 4 of the gallon size and 2 of the little, I think they're like a quart size. They're a little bit bigger than the snack. And I grabbed these just because they have this kind of closure instead of the push together kind of closure. And I like that. Ziploc bags are good for like holding severed appendages, so you can keep them on that ice so they're more likely to be able to be put back on. And then in case of emergency, you can also kind of use this as like a barrier if you really need to. Garbage bags, I have 2 of the kitchen size ones. And these can be used as like an emergency, like rain poncho. Yeah. And then let's see here. Next up we have matches or a lighter. I went ahead and went with the lighter. And it's just like a Bic lighter. It does work. This is good for like starting a fire if you really need to. If you're like outside and it's cold, you don't have electricity, because warmth is obviously important. Let's see here. Next up on the list, it says safety pins. I think my kit came with 2 safety pins, and I just went ahead and added a few more. They're inside of with the triangular bandage, which I thought made them a little bit less likely to get lost, and they're good for like securing, again, bandages. Let's see here. Next up on the list is a whistle. This is just a Fox 40 whistle from Walmart. I like this one because it did come with the Fox 40 cord, which is obviously breakaway. If for some reason I got caught on something, or sometimes people will grab at things. This is good for letting others know that you're there. and you need assistance, especially if you're someplace like in the woods where you need to be able to make noise louder than what you could call for. Next up, we have gloves. I have 2 pair in here, 1 pair per bag. These gloves should always be worn when dealing with any kind of like bodily fluid, like blood, to keep yourself safe from any diseases or bacteria that the other person may have. Next up, we have hand sanitizer. My kit came with these little packets of hand sanitizer. I think there's at least 5 here, and these are good because you should sanitize your hands before trying to work with anybody else, especially because we're always carrying diseases on our hands, viruses on our hands. And you definitely don't want to get those into any kind of, or onto any other person or into any kind of wound. Even if you're wearing the gloves, you can still transmit because you touch the outside of gloves. Next up is an emergency blanket here. So this is mine, super compact little dude. This is good for just additional warmth because hypothermia can set in if a person is too cold. Can also help be used to help prevent shock. Next up is a flashlight. It's here. I just use a little gray flashlight from Walmart. This is good if for some reason during a storm or whatever your power goes out, or if you're outside and you have an emergency at nighttime. Let's see. Next up is zip ties. This pack came with 20 zip ties. They're good for again, to secure bandages if you need to, and then they can also be used to secure like an arm to their body or back against their chest if you need to do that. And you can also, again, use them to secure splints if you need to do that. Next up is low-dose chewable aspirin. So there's my low-dose chewable aspirin. It's just one little container. It says it comes with 36 tablets. This is going to be good if you see signs and symptoms of a heart attack, because they can help with heart attacks while you're waiting for 911 to arrive. Let's see, and then that's all the required items. As far as my extra items go here, first up on my list, I did go ahead, I put in 4 tampons into my case. I chose to do tampons because they can help stop bleeding really effectively. I have a CPR shield or a rescue breast shield. Just one of these guys that came with my kit. And I chose to include that guy because when you're giving CPR, you should probably have some kind of barrier. And it's going to be pretty effective to keep the other person's germs out of your mouth. Which, especially with things like COVID going on right now, you definitely want to be aware of and use that face shield if you have it. Next up is eye wash, which, it's right here. So this came with my kit, and I chose to include it because if you have something in your eye, you can use the eye wash to wash it out. It's a lot more effective than trying to use Gatorade or Soda Pop, especially because this doesn't have anything that's going to harm your eye when you're trying to get that out of there. Next up, I included 2 pens. The reason I chose to include 2 pens instead of just 1 pen is because of tourniquets. So when you do a tourniquet, you will likely need a pen or a branch or some other form of straight object to actually lock the tourniquet in place and tighten it. And then you are supposed to write TQ and the time that you applied the tourniquet on their forehead. So emergency medical services knows what time the tourniquet was applied. And then if you have a long list of medical history that the person's giving you when you take your sample history, it's also good to be able to write that down if possible, to be able to hand to the EMTs so they kind of know what's going on. And then last but not least, I have six popsicle sticks, and these are great for small little splints like finger splints. And that is going to be my entire kit going on here. Here's this paper for you. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.